Many of you know I have been keeping up with the trial that's going on for Amber Geiger. And it's been quite a trial. She was supposed to get on the stand today and she didn't do it. So they're claiming that she will take the stand tomorrow. So I will definitely keep you informed. Yesterday, one of the Texas Rangers took the stand and gave a testimony as an expert. And he's no expert. He's no more than just another officer. He's just a Texas Ranger and nothing more. He has no expertise. So at the end of his testimony, he said he didn't believe that Amber Geiger committed a crime. There was no crime committed when she shot and killed Botham John. And unfortunately, his parents were in the courtroom and they reacted. And it was really sad. That should never have happened. Number one, like I said, he's not an expert. Number two, he has no right to come up with that kind of determination on the stand as a witness. Okay? He should have just answered the questions and that's it. Adding in all this extra stuff, he was way out of line. Whether she's guilty or not, that's the job of the jury. It is not the job of this Texas Ranger. Way out of line. So the lead investigator of the case for the Texas Rangers took the stand Wednesday during the murder trial of Amber Geiger and described how the layout of her apartment complex could be seen as confusing. Trooper David Armstrong also said that he didn't believe the former Dallas officer committed a crime when she shot and killed Botham John inside his apartment after thinking it was her unit and that he was an intruder. Well, it's not going to go down like that, David Armstrong. You know, he is doing what we have always seen police officers do. They stay on code, they back each other up, and they do no wrong. They never do any wrong. But I'm glad the judge spoke up and she did not accept his testimony as an expert. Okay. And another good thing, the jury was not in the room when he made the statement about there was no crime committed. Okay. So they were not even in the room, and she had the statements that he made that were inappropriate struck out of the testimony. So when the jury when the jury decides on the verdict, ladies and gentlemen, that won't even be in the transcript. So that was all struck out. And I'm glad the judge did that because it was very inappropriate for him to sit there and come to the conclusion, not unless he's on the jury, he should not have been sitting on the stand making those kind of comments. Okay, so although Armstrong is technically a prosecution witness, he supported the defense claims that the former Dallas officer could have easily been confused about the layout of the South Side flats where the shooting took place. A neighbor at the South Side flats apartment, Whitney Hughes, testified like Geiger. She too had walked to an apartment on the wrong floor before confusing it for her own. Armstrong testified that he did a survey of tenants at the apartment complex where Geiger and John lived, and found that 23% of those tenants had accidentally walked into the wrong apartment because of the layout. He confirmed the hallways of the complex are similar, as well as the parking garage. So here he is, the Texas Ranger, David Armstrong. And I don't know why he would be an expert. He didn't do nothing but go there the next day after everything has happened. Botham John was shot on September 6th. Armstrong went there on September 7th. So he was not even at the apartment complex at the time he was shot to witness anything. So it was really out of line for him to open his mouth and make that kind of statement. There is an open air side to the garage on the fourth floor where Geiger parked that September 6, 2018 evening, but she had backed her pickup truck into that parking space. Armstrong also told the jury that John's door was poorly installed and often would not close all the way. The jury was shown videos that supported his claim. Okay, even if that is the case, you still don't walk into a stranger's house. That doesn't justify anything. On multiple occasions, the door would close all the way, and the door would also not completely close depending on the distance. And we were just letting go of the door, not using any force, and sometimes it would close all the way, and sometimes it wouldn't, depending on the distance, Armstrong said. Armstrong later said, while the jury wasn't present, that he didn't believe Geiger committed a crime and that her actions were consistent with her story. Now, Geiger hasn't done anything but lie through this entire thing. I mean, I tell you what, if she's not embarrassed, she should be. Because all of the stuff that has come out about her since Monday all the way up to now, shameful. Shameful. Especially the affair and the text message and her and Rivera, her partner, sending nude photos back and forth. Man, that's embarrassing. Okay. He said that it was a reasonable perception that Geiger saw Jean as an intruder. So earlier in the morning, before Armstrong took the stand, one of the jurors had disclosed that they once had a professional relationship with the trooper who was testifying. After being questioned by the judge and attorneys, the juror was allowed to remain on the panel. Late Wednesday afternoon, the juror saw graphic autopsy photos of Botham John. John's father cupped his ears and turned to face the wall, and John's mother began to sob and walked out. Yeah, it's been difficult for his parents, y'all. It has been so hard. When they were showing the police camera footage, they had to leave. They could not take looking at Botham John laying on the floor getting CPR. They just couldn't handle it. So they had to get up and walk out. And I don't blame them. I understand this family has gone through so much in this past year. This one person has turned their life upside down. And, even after the verdict, they can never get him back. It's really sad what has happened. Judge Tammy Kemp said, "I'm sorry, I didn't even give it any thought." She apologized for reviewing that video without warning John's family first. It's something they had expressed they couldn't bear to witness. Yeah, it's been very difficult for them. But his mother is supposed to give a statement. We just haven't gotten up to that point yet. A photo of the gun used was offered as evidence, as well as another of Geiger's taken of her uniform after the shooting. Yeah, they had to take her uniform. Yeah, that's true. Prosecutors pointed out that she had a taser on her belt in addition to a gun. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to what they were saying today, with some confusion, and we thought Geiger was going to get on the stand today, and we waited nearly probably over a half hour for them to determine whether she was going to get on the stand or not, and ultimately she didn't, and they're now claiming that she will take the stand tomorrow morning. So we shall see. And plus, in addition to that, there will be closing arguments from the defense and the prosecutors tomorrow. And they're also saying that the trial will probably extend into Saturday. So they will be going back up to the courthouse Saturday. So that being said, the verdict should be coming soon. It shouldn't be too much longer. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I think this Armstrong was way out of line. The trial is still going on. I don't know what he was trying to pull. I guess maybe he thought he was going to bust the case wide open. He didn't. And, the jury will make the final decision about what happens to Amber Geiger, not this Texas Ranger. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.